evening. Ah, hello. Good evening. I can't. Oh, that's strange. Can't see the name on there. Nide. Oh, hope I've spelt that. Said that correctly. Good evening. Have you found us, Mark?
Yep.
Lovely. Hopefully have a few more. Oh, here we are. Look. Hi, Philippa. Hello, lovely. Hope you're okay. And Brian, is he around? I wonder if he is, if he's busy. Jill, good evening, Jill.
Cooking tea.
Cooking tea. They'll have had their tea by now. Julie. Hi, Julie. Hi, Jill. Oh, we're getting a good few in. Oh, really quickly. Oh, hi, Jenny. Oh, I'm pleased you're in, so then you can have a little look at this idea that you was interested in. Here he is. Here's Brian.
Hello, Brian.
Right, lovely. We're getting a few good, nice few in then, so that's fantastic. Oh, Andreen, good evening, lovely. How are you? Wendy, good evening. We've had a really busy day on here, haven't we, the last couple of days? You've been inundated. Nicely inundated, though.
Julie hicked it out.
You can't possibly... Oh, hi, Gail. Oh, just getting his phone sorted. Oh, here he is, Brian. Hi, you mate, he said.
Hi, Brian.
You can never be overly Julie hicked out.
Well, definitely not.
No, I don't think that's ever going to be a problem. Right then, okay, we've got a lovely few in. That's smashing. Well, thank you very much for joining me. And I think I might be the tail end of this week. This is my regular slot, as you know, on once a month on a Thursday. But I know we've had lots of other exciting things happening this week. So I'm going to take full advantage of using the nude eyes as well. And as advertised, I'm going to be doing... oh, thank you, Jenny. Thank you. Hi, Karen. As advertised, I'm going to be doing using the stars set and making a celebration card. And I've put 18 on it, but you know, it could be any celebration really. So I'm going to turn the camera around. Thank you ever so much for everybody for joining us, and hope you've all had a wonderful day today, because by God, it's been lovely here. Oh, hi, Jax. Johnny. Hello, lovely. I just got in there just quickly before. Oh, you're back tomorrow, Julie. Oh, I am sorry. Oh, my goodness me.
10:30, must be having a lie.
10:30. Oh, I'll be able to catch that. Oh, good evening, Nancy. Oh, Julie, I'm sorry I didn't see that one coming. Dear me, what am I like? Please don't sack me. Right, we'll get you turned round and we'll crack on with the project then, quickly before Julie changes her mind. Right, okay, let me turn you round. Here we go.
Oh, it seemed to be a bit stuck.
Is that... Oh,
Right, here we go.
I think the stand could maybe do with a bit of WD on it.
Aye.
And me.
Yeah. Maybe a worker as well.
It's rubbing
Yeah.
off on me. How are we doing? Does that look about right?
Yeah, there.
Ah, fabulous. Super. Right then. Okie dokie. So we've got Julie in the house. We've got Philip in the house. I know that Tracy was hoping to join us as well. If there's any questions, I'm absolutely sure they will answer them. And if there's anything at the end, and I always go through, as you well know, I always go through afterwards and have a little look, because I do appreciate. I can't.
Tracy's with us as well.
Oh, hi Tracy. Oh, lovely. I have just to explain. It's not that I'm not a typical woman. I can't do two things at once. Sorry, Brian and Mark. But I I can't, with the glasses that I've got on to see my close work, I can't see the screen where it would be, so that's my problem. Anyways, here we go. So I've got this card to show you this evening. So this was one, or well, I've redone it because of course the one that I sent to Julie is with Julie, and it might go out to somebody as well. As you well know, often our lovely members of the group often get some nice surprises in the post with some of the cards, so you never know. Anyway, like I say, this one is a bit of a, I think it's a bit of a celebration card, there's no question. I think it could be so many different things. This colour scheme does tend to sort of err on the side of maybe more of a masculine, possibly. That's where I was thinking anyway when I was doing it. But then saying that, it could be a teenager as well, which I think is quite really important. I know I've got 18 on there, so obviously they're going to be a teenager, but what I mean is it could be a teenage birthday without, you know, if there wasn't a particular age on it, or of course it could be any celebration at all. And of course with the new set of sentiments that we have, so sentiment number 4, and I did see today that there was somebody on, forgive me for not remembering who it was, somebody on the group did actually ask how many sentiment sets that we've got now, and it's actually 4, and that's including the Christmas one, which isn't available at the moment. But I know that it will be coming back because, by golly, we've had so many people ask us for it. So,
I've got Val and Anne just popped in.
oh, hi Val, hi Anne, thank you for coming. Right, so I think also graduation. I think this would be a really fab graduation card. New job, of course, and that's why I was mentioning about the new sentiments, because of course we've got, it's got congratulation. It's very much, I've got it here actually, it's very much based on that sort of ilk, isn't it? And sentiment medley, of course it's called. So you've got your retirement, you've got your engagement, of course it could be an engagement, and of course you do it in your colour scheme, whatever colour scheme that you fancy. Congratulations, obviously, just on its own would be fantastic. I know these are back to front, but forgive me. Good luck in your new job, why not? Maybe not quite so many stars because it's more of a congrats card, but you know, if you sort of like dull it down a little bit without some of the stars, that'd be fantastic. And of course, congratulations in your new job as well.
It could be a Brian's birthday card apparently.
Oh, when is it your birthday, Brian?
No, he hasn't said.
Ah, well, I don't mean to be rude, but I'm not sure if you're going to be 18. Might be 22 this time, Brian, but not 18. But you know what? I might be wrong. Let us know when your birthday is, Brian. Ooh, party. Anyway, so we're going to do this. So first of all, I'm going to start off by explaining it. I did actually colour this card to so that it would all mix and match with everything. I made it myself. I do like to do that, and then everything that's associated with it, like for instance the stars, and if I'd have done the 18 with it, obviously it would have all gone really, really nicely together. And the band on the inside of the acetate as well. But also, I don't know about you, but when I'm doing obviously something like this, I would put in a box. So straight away I would have decorated a little bit at the front of the box. So I would use maybe a little bit of this paper that I've done as well to decorate the top of the box, or you know, something like that would be, and it'd be rather nice because it all matches so nicely. So I'm just going to talk you very briefly through this. I've specifically chosen not to actually do it now because it is obviously sort of dirtier crafting, which you know I'm absolutely very happy with, but it does mean that we've got to move the dirtier crafting aside to then do the nice clean project that we're going to do. And also, not only that, and it's a really important point, this obviously is it is going to be quite wet when you've done it, because The colours that I've used on this particular piece, and of course no two pieces are ever going to be the same, even if you tried, they're never going to be the same. But I've used all the same, so this is why I wanted just to show you what I've used. Fossilised amber, peeled paint in both the distress inks, and then I've actually matched them up with the distress spritz, which I'm absolutely loving, and everything seems to be having a little bit of spritz of this one way or another. So of course the fossilised amber, and of course the peel paint as well. So yeah, so great ones for accenting the spritz are, and you can see how it all came out. I used a lot of water to actually move the ink around and everything, and of course these are water based as well, so that's what I was saying about it being wet. You can obviously dry it with your heat tool, no problem at all, but what you mustn't do, well, if you do it, it's just not going to work out as successfully as what you'd like it to. But if you die cut a piece of card or paper or whatever that you've done that's still damp, and you might not think it feels damp, but it might be in the fibres, it won't die cut properly. So hence I did these earlier. They're lovely, lovely and dry. It's a piece of watercolour card. I did use that. I mean, obviously I know lots of you have got the mixed media card that Hazel's got, which would be ideal for this project as well. I mean, the super smooth would be absolutely fine. But what I do like about the watercolour card is obviously is meant to take the product and create a really nice finish to it. So I've done a little bit of moving around when it was wet, so you've got a few runs and a few bits like that. And then I also took another piece of card and I popped it on the top when it was quite wet, pressed it all down on top so that I'd got sort of some of it coming off but not wasting it. So I wouldn't, for instance, get some of my blue roll or my messy towel or anything and dab it off, because that's such a waste of ink and spray and everything else. But if you do tend to get a little bit of pooling, if you put a little bit, maybe a little bit too much water on, or you want to move it around a bit and you need that amount of water, then put another piece of card on the top, lightly press it in and even move it around a little bit to get a bit more pattern, and then you've got a second sheet that you can then work on, which is really nice. So that's how I made my background paper. I love doing it. I can spend a whole afternoon just making background papers, and I know that we all the design team do, and I know lots of you do as well. So I did want to just explain the colours that I actually used for this project. The reason why I went with those colours is because, like I say, I wanted it to be more slightly on the younger side, and slightly on the sort of more boy masculine sort of type idea, because we do a lot of floral projects. I love floral projects, but every now and again we need to maybe have a little look at something different.
Sue and Pat's just come in as well to join us.
Oh, hi Sue, hi Pat. Is it our Pat Peck?
It is.
Lovely. We see you on Saturday, Pat, and we've got your dies ready for you to pick up. Right then, so let's talk about the actual dies themselves. So I have actually got them on pieces of card at the moment, so they're a little bit disjointed, but I'm sure that most of you have seen at least 1-2 of the lives so far, and hopefully maybe caught up with them if not. So you can you've seen the actual sets in their entirety. So let me just pop these all back roughly, because let's let you see what we've got here. So we are going to be using this wonderful largest die of the set, which is the Deckle Edge. I love it. I love Deckle Edge, and I was only telling the workshop yesterday, Deckle Edge was one of the, can you remember the decorative scissors that you used to be able to get, and when we first started paper crafting, and I had a pair of deckle edge scissors, and they were actually metal and not plastic ones. They were amazing, and I used and used and used and used them, so I am so thrilled to have a deckle edge, not only in this size but of course in this size as well, which makes the perfect frame. Marvellous. If you look back on yesterday's, on Hazel's live, marvellous. I only was able to catch a little bit of it, but I've looked back and there's a tremendous lot of ideas, so fantastic. Have a little look at that. So you've also got obviously the stars. Now if you use the stars on their own, they don't have a cutting edge, so you've got the stars on their own, so you will need to use the deckle edge, or if you wanted to have a just straight edges, and obviously use the straight edge die, no problem. Or if you were lucky enough to get both of them and you wanted to have the scalloped edge, then use the scalloped edge of the heart set, which we've also got out here, and mix and match them, which of course is absolutely perfect. The same way that we did with the squares and the circles, and I use those such a lot. So we're going to use that as it is, and we're going to use that on the no, that's wrong. We're going to use it on the actual paper. Let's put that to one side for a second and I'll just tell you what else I'm using. So the other thing that we're using is we're using the next size down of the deckle edge, and we're also using this. I'll just take that out of there. There we go. We're also using this lovely square that's got the tiny little stars in there, which just look fabulous, especially when you put something of contrast underneath, which we're going to do this evening. So that I'm going to cut in this lovely, it is actually a glitter card, but it's an encapsulated glitter card. It's one of these the very smooth ones. This is an Oakwood Archer one, and I'm actually using the gold as well in the same product. So because I think it's just really super, and it cuts a dream. But these dies do cut a dream, I've got to say, absolute superb. So I'm going to be cutting that one as well. I'm cutting them in real time because I wanted to go through what I'm actually doing. Now I'm not using this one or this one tonight, or these tags, but I am using the stars, and yes, I know I should have 3, and it's on my table somewhere, and do you know what, it's one of those things, you know, when we lost, well I didn't actually, but when a couple of the team lost the Christmas, one of the dies to that, well, I know it's on my desk and I know I haven't lost it, so it's here somewhere. But anyway, I'm using the 2 stars, but that's in a few minutes. The other thing I am going to be using now, I know that don't have, these are from previous collections from Hazel. We can use dies that obviously that are maybe not around anymore, because obviously we have lots and lots of people have actually bought them, and we need to use them to show people how, you know, some different ideas. So I have used these, and the one that I've used is actually this one. So this one is the one that I've used here on that one, because I love it, because it gives you the outside edge and it also gives you the inside one, and that's of course a 2-for-1, which is brilliant, and that gives you this one as well. So it gives me a little bit of a bigger size of the star. So we're going to be using that one from, and it's You're a Star set, if you do have those. Now there is an alternative if you don't have that one, but you do have, I'll just put that against it so you can see, if you do have this stencil, then obviously what you could do is you could actually draw around these and then cut them out if you wanted bigger stars. That one and that one. I mean, that one's quite big, but that one will give you a lovely alternative to them. And also there's lots of smaller ones as well, but I think they will be too hard to cut out. So they're the ones, so a little alternative there if you don't have the die set. But of course we do have the 3 stars in this set, so you can just use those and do more of those. Okay, so I'm just going to put that the actual card to one side for a minute while we get a little bit of cutting done. The other, one more thing that I'm going to use, I'm actually going to be using this tag, but it's off the heart set. But what I could have done is quite easily have used one of these lovely tags. I really enjoyed using these when I was making some samples, and I know we all did. In fact, several of us did a very similar idea. Which, so it just shows that, you know, that we don't know what each other's doing, but it was quite interesting. But these are fabulous, and these are included in the star set. So if you have only got the star set, then that would be more than adequate. But I did actually use that one from the hearts, so I'll just pop that out of the way. Right then, so what we need to do is I've got my machine just here in a sort of a cobbled fashion next to me. I don't normally have it here. I normally have it on my cabinet, which makes me get up and actually die cut, which is a good thing. Right, so I'm using my the Sizzix switch, but of course, obviously, thin metal dies, whatever machine that you've got, but you use your plates in the way, of course, that your machine tells you to. So I'm just popping that there. Now I am going to just pop a little bit of tape because I don't want to have a wiggly frame. That's it, that should do that nicely. Okay, so I'm just going to pop that through, just bear with me while the noise is there. There we go. So the next one then that we need to do is this one. So I do them facing down, but of course whatever you choose to do, whatever your machine is preferable to. There we go. And you can see what I'm doing is I'm using the outer frame as the not just for a decorative edge, but also to create the actual piece itself, with this as an inner piece. So you know we can do that. I mean, the other alternative would be, if you wanted to, you could make this into a gorgeous frame, decal edge on the outside, the stars on the inside, and then of course the decal edge on the inside, and then of course that will cut out. That will give you a super frame, and I must do something with that soon. Actually, you get so many ideas in your head, and of course all these stars that are coming out, they don't go anywhere but in a little pot that then gets used for decoration, embellishments, or of course shaker cards. So I have got my stars all cut, and I have got my tag cut, so I don't need to do that. That's the bottom of that. I do need to put, where did that, oh it's here we go. Just need to pop the decal edge back down because I do need a black decal edge as well. Even though it's the same size, I do want it to go underneath, and you'll see why in a second. So we'll just pop these through. Too near to the edge, I think. Use it, Erin, not the machine. Let me bring it back out again. There we go. Do it properly first thing, Jo. Right, so we've got all these beautiful stars, which of course we could use in our project if you wanted to. And now we've got our lovely paper that we made. And of course all our stars are going to match perfectly if that's what we wanted to do with those that we've just popped out. Okie dokie, so let's have a little look at this. Now, I'm sure that you all do this, but I always fasten, no matter how confident I am about it's not going to move or whatever, I always fasten my dies down if I'm using two together, because in fact sometimes if I'm a little bit unsure I actually do one and then I put the other one in afterwards, because the worst thing that you can do is to actually have your dies in, one slips and then it cuts over the other, because that's the only way, apart from obviously losing them, that you can completely ruin the set, and it would be such a shame. That one hasn't actually done the egg, but I think that was my fault because I messed about with the putting it into the I've actually got right, I'm not going to bother, I'm not going to worry about that one. I'm going to just take a new piece of card. Just pass me that, and now I'm going to cut a new piece of card, because that was my, now actually don't worry Mark, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the inside of this one and that's it. What I did was I didn't get them lined up properly because I'm at a funny angle. I'm not blaming I'm not blaming my tools, I'm blaming the actual user of the machine. So I'm going to do I'm going to be more economical and cut it out the middle of that anyway. Right, let's have a little look to see what we need. Right, so I've got my card blank. I've got a card blank which is 8 by 8. Now I could have quite easily have managed with a 7 by 7. But what I wanted to do is I wanted some white space around the edges, and this is what will give me the white space. Okay, so now I just need to pop that one through with this on it like so. Just bear with me 2 seconds. There we go. Right then, so let's have a little look at the assembly line. Okay, so we've got those 2 pieces, so you won't actually know that I've cut the middle out of there, and it is a little bit more economical. I do that normally, I must admit, but there you go. It just proves me wrong trying to do it properly, doesn't it? Right, okay, so we've now got our lovely inner frame, but that we previously cut with the second size of the deck ledge. Now the little tiny stars I'm not going to be using tonight, but that doesn't mean to say that I'm not going to put them in my little pot. We were saying yesterday actually, but at workshop that these will make all the stars, the hearts, all the bits that are coming out, and of course we've got these fantastic star, like a complete die which is full of the stars, make lovely table confetti. Of course if you cut them and use all your bits up as well, all your scraps and bits, that would be ideal for table confetti, because really your scraps and bits and bobs sometimes you maybe not, I don't know about you, but you tend to put them in a box, and yeah, a bit naughty aren't we for using up scraps, but we can use them for that sort of thing, which would be ideal. So we've got this bit. Now what I wanted to do was, I felt that when I put it down initially, when I first made it, I popped it down and I thought did I really want it just onto the background paper, or should I put it onto a little bit more of the glitter card? And I did decide to put it on a bit of the glitter card, so I'm going to go with the same idea. And actually that's a little bit bigger than what I would have liked, so I'm just going to trim that down. Could just leave it with the yellow underneath. It's not just yellow, is it? Because it's got that lovely distressed spritz on it. So that's how that's going to go. I'm just layering it up, just making sure I've got everything. And then what we've now got is, what we need this piece that goes across, which is this one, and this is the bit that's got the acetate attached to it, where the stars are then sort of floating around. So what we need to do initially, and what I have done is I've used a bit of gold mirror, so I'm still sticking with the same tones. So I've got the gold, obviously gold in the glitter, gold in the mirror. This is of course off the design, what should we call it, designer paper. Designer paper. Oh, I know. I'm pretending I'm going up in the world. And then I've got some of the black glitter, so I'm going to make a band to go across the actual card itself. But what I don't need to do, I don't need to bring that underneath. I can just bring it from one side to the other, because the acetate itself, which is here, is going to be the bit that goes under, just tucks underneath, and that's why I haven't stuck those down onto the card blank yet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get some sticking done. If you've got any questions, don't forget to ask. I think I think most of the questions have been answered over the last 24 hours as to what to do and how to do this with the dies and what have you, but obviously please do ask. Now also with the encapsulated glitter, it's so much easier to actually stick something to it, because it adheres a lot quicker. Now obviously this decal edge and that decal edge is the same size, but you need it. You need the contrast underneath, because you need these black stars coming through. And if you do see a tiny bit at the edge, that's all a plus. Okay. Oh, I forgot I've got a hole in there. Draw it at the wipe out. Get a piece of cloth. There we go. Being frugal, you see. Right, so just need to be mindful about that. Let's turn it over. Right, stick these two on. So all I've done is I've just cut myself just a regular square out of this one, and then of course the gold glitter then pops through. So you've got the opposites going on now. You've got the gold glitter coming through the stars with the black on top, and then of course the opposite on the other side. Just going to tiny bit more off here. Okay. I'm going to have to be careful here, because I was a wally and put the glue underneath. Oh, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. To save it all getting all very messy, I'm going to take a piece of copy paper. You don't have to do this normally, obviously, but I'm just going to cover that glue up so it's not going everywhere and I'm having to keep wiping glue. That's it. Got it. There's always an answer in crafting. There we go. Let's just pop that one. So you've already got where it's actually cut. It's naturally embossed. Now, obviously, that will depend on the pressure of your machine. The pressure of my machine, I know, is really good. I mean, it's Sizzix, so you know they are excellent. And so I have got the line here that I can roughly gauge this against. Okay, just pressing that down, make sure it's all nice and firm. Right, now what we need to do is we need to put this across. So we need to cut these down to where we want them. There we go. And then we can use that one as a marker. So remember, this one's going to be flat, and then it's the acetate that actually goes around. So of course what you could do is, if you really wanted to, you could do a complete dome, and if you was doing that, you would get obviously the width, acetate the width of the card, so from here to here in depth, and then in width what you would need to do is maybe add an inch either side and then score it, and then that's going to, but you need to allow for the actual dome, so it doesn't want to be flat against the card blank. You need to have a bit more length, obviously, for it to dome over. All right, so I'm going to pop tape onto these because I know they're going to be a bit more skiddy. And when I start putting the acetate on as well, we could have a skiddy mess with all lots of glue going over. So all I've done is I've taken obviously the just some layers just to pop this bar across, and I'm going to go in the middle, and you can count the stars if you really want to do. Let's see if it's the right two.
Is that in the sky or on the card?
Not stars in the sky, no. No, it's on the card.
Oh, well.
It's we've not got any stars at the minute because it's still daylight, which is marvellous. Absolutely fabulous. I enjoy all the seasons, but when it does start to get light, when you're going home, that is just so nice. Now I'm going to I put tape on that, but I am going to put a little bit of glue on it as well, because that is not the encapsulated card, because I wanted to also introduce that, because I've introduced that on some of the stars as well. The same colour, just different textures. Right, so we've now got that part done. So now what we need to do is we need to put the acetate on. So I've got the acetate, I've got plenty either end, but what I need to do is, and I know it's difficult to see acetate, and I'm sorry about that, but what we need to do is we need to make sure we've got a bow going on in the raised piece of the acetate, like a bridge going on. So we need to score it at either end. Excuse my very old, very used scoreboard.
I've had that since the year dot.
I have had this since day one.
Yeah.
So, you know, and obviously at some point I've had spray glitter near it, but do you know what? It still does the job.
Does it?
Yes. And that's what matters.
Like Julie, she bought them scissors as well.
Sorry?
Them scissors.
Oh, the Deca Ledge, did you, Julie? Oh, weren't they lovely? And do you know what? I think that if I looked hard enough, I think I might still have them. I would never have given them away. Never. They were so lovely. Now, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to do a double score. Okay. So just using a couple of them. And if you haven't got these, you've got a hoogie board, obviously, or anything like that. I've got a hoogie board, but it's just a bit cumbersome for little more smaller projects. So just turning it round, and I'll explain why I've done a double score in a minute. And you would do this if you was doing a complete dome over the card, but obviously you would do it right the way down on both sides. I like doing domed cards because it protects the inside. The only thing is, when you do a photograph, want to pop it on the website, it's such an awkward thing to photograph. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to score, just fold over, sorry, where I've scored. I'll just give it a little bit of a press. And there's a reason for doing this. You don't have to do it, but I've found that over the years, oh, that sounds so old.
What are you knocking on now?
Well, I Did you just hear my husband? I'm knocking on now. I am.
You'll soon be a lot older in a few months'
I
time.
know, I'm going to be 60 this year. Cool, blimey. Anyway, let's not talk. I'm not bothered actually. Don't bother me. There we go. So the reason why I do that is because then it gives a little bit more height. I hope that makes sense. A little bit more height here, and it doesn't flop down, because if you don't quite get it where you want it to be, it can sort of flop down a little bit, and you don't want that, do you? Right, so the first score line is where you're going to place, you're going to put it alongside the decal edge that we've done. So we're just going to pop that. So by putting that piece of paper there, you see, I would have got completely mulled up by now, wouldn't I? Oh, fancy doing that, what a worry. That's like doing the all of the easel card before you put it on, and then you realise that half of it you need to glue, and you've got glue all over the place. And don't tell me you haven't done that, because I know you all have. Actually, I'm wondering if this is a little bit longer than what I would have liked, but let's have a little look. Let's have a look, see. Yeah, it is. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to very, very quickly, I'm just going to shorten this a bit, which is not a problem. Where's my board? I'm just going to do exactly the same as what I did before. There we go, that's better, because it was a little bit too much. It was like that great big bridge in, is it America, that great big tall, very, very, very high, but it goes up really intense high.
Penny says there's nothing wrong with being 60, she's loving it.
Who's that?
Penny.
Oh, good on you, Penny. I'm not bothered at all. Honestly, I'm not. I was the youngest in my school year, so I'm going to be the last to be 60. And on Saturday we popped, really, really, really dear friend of mine, who I used to walk to school with every day. It was her 60th on Saturday, and we went to like a bit of an afternoon get together. You see, that's what made me smile, because I thought, oh, you know, when you're 18 and 21, you have a right good knees up at night, don't you? Well, this was an afternoon get together, and actually it's really suited me.
I was in bed by 8:30.
Oh dear. And then we went to my brother's retirement do, which was equally as early as well. So yeah, anyway, I digress. Yeah, so all these people are going to be 60 before me, and they're a bit cheesed off about it, but it didn't bother me. I think you get a bus pass round here when you're 60. I'm not sure. But then again, I'll be honest with you. We live in Lincolnshire, as you know, and we don't have many buses. So I don't think it's really going to benefit us a great deal. Right, so I'm just putting the tape. The reason why I'm taping it is obviously acetate. You know, it takes, well, forever to actually dry on, so it really wouldn't, it's not ideal to use acetate to use glue on a, certainly not on a live anyway. Right, so now we've got our complete base ready, and so we can now stick it down, and then we can decorate it once it's down. Okay. It looks really scruffy underneath, but we all know that that's all going to be covered up, isn't it? So. Yes, I was the very youngest in the class, and I was also, before I was married, my surname began with a W, so I was at the end of the register as well, so I was very much, it's a good job I didn't get a complex about it. There we go. But then when we left school, I was still only 15, which was quite funny. Right, anyway, put this down here. So I'm doing it by eye, and of course if you wanted to, you can measure where you want it to be, make sure it's all equal. But what I am also doing is I've got that top square level with my line on my mat here. So if you've got that straight there, and then you get that straight by eye on there, you know that you're fine. Okay, so I use this grid on here a lot. I don't know if anybody else does.
Jean Harrison's just come in, so she must have been watching.
Oh, hi Jean. Oh no, I don't think Phil's on tonight, but you never know. She's maybe been busy. Right, so let me get my bits and bobs. Now I have got these all cut out, because obviously what I've had to do is I've had to put the dies through a few times to get the amount that I want. I may not use all these, but then, you know, I've got them for another time anyway. I have also cut my numbers out. Now my numbers are from Julie's the alphabet. So it's the uppercase alphabet set. And although they're separate sets of dies, obviously, what you do get in the matching style and the matching size are the numbers on another set. So you've got the numbers and tags set, die set, but the size of them all marries up and matches the uppercase alphabet die set. And then of course there is the sweet pea set as well, which I must admit I absolutely love. It's a lot more delicate. So I think if this was going to be more of a female card, I think maybe I would have used the sweet pea set. But that's just what I like to do. So you do whatever.
You could do a 50th for Brian then, couldn't you?
50th for Brian? Is that how old you are, Brian?
Or 55, something.
Is he being rude?
No.
Oh. I know you're younger than me. Right, so I'm going to put my tag, and I'm going to put it about there. So what I need to do is I need to put my 18 about there, so it's obviously upright. So I'm going to put that on first. Now I am going to use my glue, because I'm confident with that Crafty glue that it will stick to this. Oh, now then, let's just put that there. Yeah, like that. We need to know when your birthday is, Brian.
He's told you.
Oh, when is it?
Say?
No.
September.
September. So it's after me then.
Maybe 55.
Oh.
So he's a little younger.
I was born in 1970 then, is that right? I was 1965, yeah. Right. Now, it's dry as clear glue, so if you do happen to get anything on the black, obviously most glues that I think that we're all using are dry as clear, aren't they? So the TH and the N and D, the third, so it's the third, the first, the second, and obviously the TH is all on there. So again, you don't have to be thinking about trying to find those. That was set. Will set. And then let's just pop this in, and then the reason why I want to pop the tag in first is so that I can then work around that. I know that looks messy, but it will dry clear. Can then work around this to where my stars want to be, because I don't want to obviously lose the 18th looking. I'm going to put a star on there because I think that would look quite smart. There we go. Right, so now what we'll do is we'll put our, let me put my glue gun on, because the one thing that I am going to do is I'm going to use my glue gun to actually put my stars onto my acetate. So you don't have to do, but it just will be a lot easier and it will dry quicker for us to finish it off. So I've got an assortment now here. I've got all different sizes. I've got some cut in the actual, what we call in the designer paper, what we, the watercolour card that we did ourselves. I've got Miri, I've got the encapsulated gold, and I've also got the encapsulated black. And I've got these lovely open ones as well, which I absolutely adore. Now, I'm going to put one of the open ones in that corner. I can put that in with just some glue, because I'm not going to get that under there. If I fasten that down too well. Yeah, I'm just going to nip that end off there, so it looks as if it's going to be there. That's it. And then what we'll do is we'll put a contrasting star in the middle of that. There, so that's giving it a little bit of an interest at the top there. And then what we really ought to be doing is we really ought to do a little bit of something at this end. So I'm going to use these stars that came out of here, or some of them. And bring those in. So we've got the opposites. Right, so now I think my glue gun's ready. Yes, it is. And we're going to pop these now onto our acetate. A little bit of glue gun, pop them down, don't move them once they're down.
Once they're down, they're down.
Once they're down, they're down. Because you don't, you're getting a bit of a mess if you. Now you can see I'm just popping them over the edge as well, which is quite nice. And just trying to obviously avoid the view of the 18. So let's just get a bit of a bit of this paper, and also overlap them if you want to do, if you think that you want to do that. Let's have a look, what have we got? We've got, just be mindful obviously with the glue gun. Oh, how many times have we done that? Okay.
Only stings for a bit, doesn't it?
Yeah. Just a bit. Right, that's this one. So obviously at this point you are just suiting yourself. Just go ahead and have a little play. But you know, I was thinking about, oh, that's a bit tiny for the glue gun. Can you imagine your fingers getting burnt? I was thinking about doing a very similar one, but put with the heart set. So if anybody wants to have a little go at that and then post that onto the site, that would be fabulous. So do exactly the same as what I've done. Obviously choose your colour scheme and everything else, but do it with the heart set instead of the what can I put on? Put that one up there. Instead of the stars. And I think it would make the most lovely, lovely wedding card, of course. And wedding season's coming up, isn't it? Very much so. April, normally Easter, isn't it? Right. I think, I don't know. Let's have a little bit of an opinion here. I think we've got enough.
Yeah.
Do you think we've got enough?
Yep, I do.
Does anybody else think we've got enough? Right, so we can always just add a little on if we wanted to, but I think I'm okay now. So what I am going to do is I'm going in with the lovely, 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 oh gosh, I love the glossy dots, but the sparkly ones. Well, they're not really for Christmas, are they? But they are the ones that we have more available at Christmas. I'm just going with the three slightly bigger ones, and then I'm just going to go in with a little tiny one up there. Right, I've got all these spare, so what I am going to do is I'm going to, when everything's all dry and nicely settled, I will pop, I always put an insert in if I'm sending a card to anybody, it doesn't matter what card it is, where it's going or whatever, I always put an insert in, and I do like, you know, a little bit of decoration inside, and these would be ideal, say if I put maybe one or two just on the inside there, or maybe just slanting that against once the insert is in, and then of course you can write inside, or of course you can put it on the box like I was saying about earlier, so all those will not be wasted. So let's have a look at the side by side. So I've got a few more on there, maybe. No, I'm happy with that, I think.
Everybody's loving it.
Is everybody okay with that? I think I've got enough. I can see my 18 really well. I've got the opposites here. I've got a little bit of something up there. Obviously, the thing is, if you wanted to personalise this now, because of course, if it's something really special like an 18th, 21st or something like that, you could personalise it with their name, using the alphabet or whatever you want to do. Really lovely. Or of course, if you wanted not to have it on the front but put it inside, you could maybe print a little verse off with their name. And what I like to do for wedding cards is I like to, on one side, on this side, I like to obviously put who it's to and give them the, you know, write the greeting and everything. On the other side, when they open it up, I like to put where they're getting married, so whether it's hotel, church or whatever, and the date, because I think it makes it more of a bit of a memory piece then, doesn't it? So okay, hopefully you have enjoyed that. I'm just a couple of minutes before my time, so I think I'm just about there, aren't we? So that's worked out rather well.
Yes.
So little idea for you, and hopefully you'll enjoy it and you'll perhaps have a go. But if anybody is going to have a go with the hearts, then please do, somebody have a go and share them. I can't do one tomorrow because I've got a workshop on Saturday that I need to prep for, but maybe next week, if nobody does one, I'll do one and pop it on the site. But very straightforward to do if you've got the sets. Now of course, just talking about the sets, obviously the stockists are at the top of the page, and yeah, so if you haven't indulged yet or treated yourself, and of course it is nearly Easter, why do we need eggs? Well, we don't need chocolate eggs. Ask for something nice like a die instead. Okay, turn you round, let's have a look. And here we go. Smashing. There we go. Lovely. Oh, I'm so pleased that you've enjoyed it. And any questions? Obviously, I'm sure they've come up, and the girls have been answering them for you. Please don't forget to share your makes. I know that you do on this site, because it's absolutely wonderful to see everybody's. It really is. And yeah, just keep doing it. Just keep doing it. Thank you ever so much. Absolutely stunning die sets. Okay, so have a play, get the most out of them, and you'll love them. Absolutely love them. Oh, my mum, I'm getting socks. I am getting some socks, and I'm quite happy to get socks, Mum, because Mum bought me these just before I go. Mum bought me these really lovely socks at Christmas, and they were so comfy. And when she said to me, what would you like for Easter? I said, I'd love another pair of those socks that you bought me at Christmas. I think she did think I was a little bit odd, but you know what? What's new? Anyway, I'm going to say good night, and I thank you ever so much for watching, taking the time and the trouble to pop in. And I'll get this onto YouTube, because of course we have to do that now, and it'll be there for you to have a little look at with all the other lovely inspiration. Oh, and don't forget Pinterest. We've got our amazing Pinterest boards. Julie, just go in and go Julie Hickey Designs on Pinterest, and they're all there. All the design teams' ideas that we've done, and we continue to add to them as well when we make more. So do have a little look on there, and it's really worth it. Okay, I'm going to go now. Thank you, and good night, everybody. Okay, bye.
Bye.